On Wednesday, your Crimson Tide celebrated an early Christmas with another strong recruiting class, National Signing Day for 2024. But you're rocking and rolling right here on a Friday. TGIF, a dish of the show, hottest show on the streets, talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Thrilled to have you all checking out the show This evening, we bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button. Smash subscribe right now. Get hooked on, get locked on, get turned up to your number one football content right here on the YouTube channel. In my own words, hit that subscribe button. Also, share the show to everybody that you know on all platforms, every friend, family member, casual Bama fan, diehard Bama fan, consumer of Tide football. Share the show with all of them that you know. Hit that like button as well. Give us that thumbs up. Smash the like button. Get those likes up. Show us that support right here on the channel. We love that. That daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you and want to hear from you tonight. Blow up the phone lines. We want to get your thoughts here tonight. 205-448-1358 for number 2. Call in to let your voice be heard on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. But we jump in Eli topic one of the conversation. Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide keeping that intensity, remaining locked into this matchup with Michigan in the Rose Bowl, college football playoff semifinal on New Year's Day, Pasadena, California. Keeps Coach Saban keeping these guys locked in, focused, intensity. He talked about the importance of greatness and kind of the price you have to pay to be great and want to be great and desire to be great, and how opposition is going to try to take that away from you, but you have to stay locked in, you have to stay focused, you have to keep the intensity and the motivation, right where it needs to be at. So that's kind of been the mantra from Coach Saban throughout this entire bowl prep, is getting his guys to continue to understand, hey, we got to the playoff even though a lot of people didn't want us in here. We got to the playoff even though so many doubted us. We got to the playoff even though so many hated on us. We got to the playoff despite the naysayers out there. We got to the playoff though so many people, despite the ones in this program, do not want to see us in here. So let's keep our foot on the neck. Let's keep the intensity. Let's keep the hunger. Let's keep the drive. Let's keep the focus on the main thing, which is, now that we're in the playoff, let's win it all. Now that we're in the playoff, let's dominate it. Now that we're in the playoff, let's control the entire narrative with us being in the playoff. So that's the mantra, that's the motto, that is the motivation that Coach Saban is speaking to his players and his team. And like I mentioned, he discussed the price of greatness with all of the guys, on the roster, in terms of everybody's coming after you. Everybody's giving you their best game. Everybody wants to knock you off the perch. People are tired of seeing Alabama on top of the food chain when you look at college football. But if you want to remain on top of that food chain, then you got to have that intensity, you got to have that effort and that focus on a consistent basis. So that's what Coach Saban is preaching here to his guys. And what's funny is you have the three permanent team captains: Jalen Milroe, quarterback; Dallas Turner, outside linebacker; Malachi Moore, defensive back. They all spoke in player interviews about how the 2010 Rose Bowl game off the 2009 season has provided motivation and inspiration for this group. Remember, it was the Rose Bowl that year, played in Pasadena, California, where Coach Saban made his first statement of, I'm the new sheriff in college football. I'm the new king in town. The championship trophy is going to come through Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tuscaloosa is going to be the new power structure of college football. That was the first announcement Saban made to the world in the 2010 Rose Bowl game off the 09 season. Prior to Saban announcing his "we taking over" message there, it was Florida, right? It was Florida with Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow. They had it going 2006, 2008, that whole ordeal. And then Alabama took it from them 2009. That was Nick Saban's announcement saying, "I'm the captain now. I'm taking this thing over now." So these guys, Milroe, Turner, Malachi Moore, they talked about it. Hey, we watched that game. We remember that 09 Rose Bowl. We watched it. We took it in. We saw it, how that team battled and fought for 4 quarters, the toughness, the pride, the commitment to excellence, the discipline, the focus, the mental grit. We saw all of that in 09 team. And we knew from their perspective what it took, and seeing that motivates us to continue that blueprint. And you have a guy on staff by the name of Josh Chapman, who was on that 2009 national championship team. Chapman, who is an assistant strength coach on staff. So he tells the guys the story of what went down. You got Jeff Allen, who's on that staff as the head team doctor, athletic trainer. He was on that 09 team. So Jeff Allen can give you the story there. And of course, we all know Nick Saban was the head coach. So the guys that are in the program that were a part of that 09 championship, that 2010 Rose Bowl game, they understood that first statement sent out there by Nick Saban, and they're telling the stories to this group right here to get them ready, to get them locked in even more, and to have them prepared to understand, hey, we started the statement back in 09 that we Bama, that we for real. Now we got a chance to send a new statement out here in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. We haven't went nowhere. We haven't left nowhere. We still run college football. Yes, Bama has had some tough moments the last couple of years, but this is still the program, but it's the measuring stick of the gold standard of the sport. So Coach Saban got a shot here to send a new message to college football. I'm not done. I'm not finished running college football. I'm not finished running the sport. In the words of Pastor Drake, he says, it's not your turn because I ain't done yet. So if Drake giving that message out there to the people, here's Nick Saban's version of it in the college football playoff, starting off with the Rose Bowl against Michigan, but keeping guys locked in on the main thing, which is having the focus, having the intensity, all of that, hook, line, sinker. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here on a Friday. When we get back, we got to hear from you. We got to get your thoughts. We got to get your phone calls. We got to get your interactions. We got to hear from the Bama Nation, and we'll get to you after this.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
Hey, everybody, we're back into the action, rocking and rolling from the break. Hottest show on the streets, #1 form for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli, the man, walking the production studio. And I definitely want to say this to everybody out here and the Bama family, we here at TDA want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a fantastic holiday season, a great New Year. Eli, I believe Christmas is Monday, right? Christmas is Monday, Christmas Eve Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a tremendous holiday season, being with your family, those you love. Want to say that before get into the phone lines to grab your calls here, on the show. But the phone lines open, 205-448-1358 for number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, Mike. I'm ready for the Christmas, we're already in the Christmas spirit, already in the Christmas season, but ready for Christmas Day, ready for the Rose Bowl. Very happy with this recruiting class that Bama brought in.
Yeah, I think we got some really good kids at corner this year. Filled the need we're going to have possibly next year. I think we got some good athletes, too, especially the kid we flipped from Texas. I could see him eventually being a safety. What do you think, Steven?
I like the Aaron Hampton kid. The flip to get him away from Steve Sarkisian was huge. He can play wide receiver. He can play corner. He could possibly play safety. Got really good size, really good closing speed, can judge the ball well. Bama could probably have him returning kicks, returning punts. He just has a feel for the ball and where he is in relation to the football. So I love the Hampton flip.
Yeah, what have you heard on the kid Stewart from Texas A&M?
Evan Stewart he's in the portal. He's looking at quite a few schools there. Alabama's in there as well, because when he was first being recruited, Alabama was very high on his board. He was high on Alabama's board before the A&M NIL money sort of kicked in there. So I think Nick Saban is considering trying to see if he can get Evan Stewart, if you can get an SEC receiver with that type of talent, that type of potential, that type of playmaking ability. You definitely want to pitch your tent that way. So I think Saban is considering possibly getting him.
Yeah, on this Michigan, I agree. On this Michigan matchup, here's where I think the only chance Michigan has in this game is to take a page out of Tennessee's playbook strategy. I think they're going to come out in their first two offensive drives are going to be scripted plays, run as fast as they can, try to get us on our heels early and maybe get a lead. What do you think? I don't see them going toe to toe, taking a full play clock.
I mean, Michigan's long shot here is if they can hit on some deep passes. If J.J. McCarthy gets time in the pocket, and if they can hit on some deep passes, that is their main shot. Because if they cannot protect McCarthy, it's going to be a long day. Because Alabama's going to be keen in on taking away Blake Corum, the running back. So if J.J. McCarthy can't hit on some deep passes, and if Michigan can't quite create with McCarthy's legs, he's not the athlete that Milroe is, but he can run a little bit. But if they can't create with McCarthy, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, I think so, too. And to tell you the truth, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him standing upright. Iowa's D-line gave Michigan's O-line more than they wanted. I mean, if you watch that game, I think our D-line can do better than Iowa's D-line. So I think it's going to be a long day, but I really think they're going to come out with some scripted 5-play drives. First two times they get the ball, I think they're going to try and jump on us early, and then when that don't work, it's going to be a long night for them the rest of the night. Well, I'm going to get off, man. Roll Tide, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in to start us off on a Friday. We get this call. You're out on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. This is Robert from Mobile.
Robert, how we feeling, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I think I'm just getting ready for. Can't wait for this game because right now I'm getting ready for Christmas. Like I said, I'll keep us all occupied a little bit before the game starts. For the game next weekend. Yeah, I'll agree with your last caller. I mean, I just can't figure the having Alabama as the underdog is. I hope they keep it that way. It's more motivation. I guess they'll keep the old link going. I guess there'll be some naysayers in that Alabama's the underdog. So okay, keep the link going. But I agree with him. I don't see where Michigan competes. Their quarterback's going to have to find the ability to run from somewhere that he hasn't shown all season, and I just don't see where they get the points or can sustain the drives. But I guess Alabama can always turn the ball over. There's always that X factor. But Milroe gets into gear and takes over the game. I don't see how they stop her or the team. So it'll just be really interesting. I just don't understand the underdog role with Alabama right now with Vegas. It's really perplexing. But okay, that's great. Keep it up, and then let's have our naysayers, and then so the team can shut them up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You got Nick Saban with a month off to plan for Jim Harbaugh. How does that end well for Jim Harbaugh? I just don't get it. So keep Alabama the underdog, and so we can get say we got still say we have our naysayers. I don't think we really do. We have naysayers, but hey, whatever works. Let's just keep that going. I still think they may want to start focusing on haters, because haters will always be there, and teams always hate Alabama. But with us being able to play the underdog role, that just fits right into Nick Saban's strategy. I'm sure he's wanting the team to stay there for right up until the game starts, and hopefully Vegas will continue to be that stupid with it.
I think the one thing that Vegas does, that Vegas is trying to hedge their bets to get everybody to bet on the line and bet on the spread and try to make as much money as possible. But when you look at J.J. McCarthy, Michigan's quarterback, he's got 3 rushing touchdowns on the year, but they really don't run him for real. Like he averages basically 2 yards a carry. They really don't run him. So if you think about it, if you have to run McCarthy to create some type of wrinkle to catch Alabama off guard, you're putting yourself in a bad spot. Because if Michigan cannot protect McCarthy, and you got Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell breathing down your neck, among others, good wishes to you, because it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. So,
yeah, who's the last quarterback that doesn't run with a flip that actually beat Alabama? I guess it was the Texas A&M quarterback a few years ago. And even then, Alabama had to help them out a whole lot with a bunch of turnovers.
Right.
And then again, that was on the road. You're not beating Alabama in a neutral site with a quarterback that can't run. But so I just don't if this is a great matchup for us, I don't see how they get any points. Michigan has scored more than 30 points, maybe twice this season, a few times, maybe a couple, 3 times this season. So yeah, and you want to run the phone booth too. That's another thing they want to do. They want to run Alabama in the phone booth. The only time you think we have any chance is with trickeration, like Auburn does. And even then it took the quarterbacks have to run. You got to have your quarterbacks have to run too. So you're not beating Alabama in the phone booth running the ball. Only chance you have is with trickeration, what Auburn does, and you would have your quarterback has to account for almost half those rushing yards. So it just doesn't bode well for them. I guess the interesting thing will be the next game between Washington and Texas. I think that teams are underestimating Washington, the commentators, quite a bit. Washington has a lot of naysayers that keep going their way. Everybody still had Oregon beating them badly, both times, and then Washington had to shut that up. And now people have Texas doing the same thing. So I think Washington has a lot to prove. I look for them to actually pull that game out against Texas.
That's gonna be the Washington Texas match is gonna be really good, because this puts Steve Sarkisian against his former program, because he was once the head coach at Washington. And this puts you got 2 really good quarterbacks going at it with Quinn Ewers, Michael Penix Jr. That game will come down to which defense can get a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And they seem to think that Washington can't score for some reason. It tends to be that everybody's focused on the Texas defense. But Washington has a pretty decent offense. Now, that quarterback can run. Then he may be a big threat against Alabama. But the Ewers can run also, so there's that. But, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think I'm looking for us to win big against Michigan. I'm looking for a double-digit win myself. So that's what I'm expecting. All right, buddy. I'll catch you later.
Appreciate Robert from Mobile calling into the show here on a Friday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Well, Eli, we're both in the Christmas spirit. We both have on Christmas sweaters. I don't know where yours came from. Mine came from my wife. Shout out Mia, babe. Shout out to you buying this Christmas sweater here. So, in the spirit of Christmas, as we're both wearing sweaters, we got some super chats to get to right now. So how about Bill from New York, Big Bill, with the $7 donation, dropping that love in there. And then we got Aaron McGuire, let's go, with the $2 donation. Bill from New York, Aaron McGuire, appreciate both of you. That daily super chat go, $100. Daily super chat go, $100 right there. We appreciate you guys. Cool call topic right now. Terrion Arnold, Jalen Milroe, both Alabama players, have created an opportunity where the motto, "Lank, let all naysayers know," has a chance for all players to benefit from the NIL. So the Lank NIL gives every player a chance to benefit. It's come from Terrion and Jalen Milroe. This is really cool. So you got Will Riker can benefit off the Lank. Everybody on that team can benefit off the Lank. This is what name, image, and likeness was meant for. Not for you, the individual, or not just for you, the individual, but to share it with your brothers, share it with your teammates so that we all can win off this thing, right? So kudos to Jalen Milroe, Terrion Arnold, for allowing the whole team to win off the Lank NIL. Pretty dope right there. We're gonna go to a break right here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, I'm gonna dive into the underrated gems that Alabama got in this recruiting class from Wednesday signing day. We'll talk about it after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. We also have new, fresh, exclusive TDA gear you can get right now at Alumni Hall. That's in store or online. Hit that link in the description and search Touchdown Alabama to view all of the available gear. Hurry and get yours before they're sold out.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, it's Friday! TGIF edition of the show. Number one forum for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith. Touchdown Alabama magazine. We're back to the action from the break. Continue tapping the like button. Smashing the like button. Giving us that thumbs up right there. Hitting that subscribe button as well. Tapping the little bell. Making this your spot here for all things Bama football. But Eli, get into topic number 2, shall we? Wednesday was a very good signing day for Alabama. I think they brought in 23, 24 signees. A lot of good guys. A lot of high-character guys. A lot of quality kids. Very good talent across the board. I thought Bama hit on needs at various positions. They also were able to hit on a couple of wants. Just very talented guys that they just desired to bring in. But I thought this was a very good class. And I know people get hung up on, well, it didn't finish number one in the number one class. At the end of the day, numbers are just numbers, people. You judge a class based off how productive it is. Numbers are just numbers. And if you finish with a top 3 or a top 5 class, you're competing anyway. So whether you have a number 1 class or a number 5 class, you're competing anyway. The purpose is the class producing? Because once you get on the field, the stars don't matter no way. It's who's ready to ball right now. Who's ready to ball, who's ready to dominate, who's ready to put in that work to get you to the ultimate prize, which is a national championship. So for Alabama, Coach Saban bringing in a very strong class here. Now, for me, there's about 5 names in this class, but I look and I go, this guy is underrated, but boy, does he have high potential. This guy is underrated, but man, if he gets a shot to get on this field to show what he can do, he can really be something. I call them the gems, the underrated gems of this class. So here they are on screen. These are my 5 underrated gems here, underrated signees here, Eli. 4-star running back Kevin Riley, who flipped from Miami to Alabama. Young man from Tuscaloosa County High School. I really like this kid. I think he's a gem, an underrated gem. But next one, you got 3-star linebacker from Germany, Justin Okonrokwo. Like this kid. Nick Saban talked about it. If he played in the States, he would be a 5-star, but he's a 3-star overseas. Hard work ethic, can shoot the gaps. He's got quickness. He's 6'3", 15 pounds right now. If you can get him to about 225, that's an inside linebacker. I think he runs a verified 40 between 4.37 and 4.4 flat. I like Okonrokwo. Then you got 3-star defensive back for legacy, Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. I think Dre Jr. ready. Yes, he may have to get thicker. He's going to have to get bigger in the weight room, but he's got a nose for the football. Really like that kid. If you go back and you watch his tape, you watch his game, kind of reminds you of Tyron Honey Badger Matthew in a way, in terms of Kirkpatrick being an opportunist to find the football. But you got for 3-star tight end, Jay Lindsey. I think he's the real diamond in the rough, but he's a true diamond. We'll get more on him. And then last but not least, 3-star defensive lineman Steve Umbadua. Pronouncing that last name wrong, but Steve M., young man from Canada. You turn on his tape, there's some aggression in that defensive lineman right there. And Freddie Roach has got his hands on somebody very nice. We're going to start this off. Kevin Riley, 4-star running back from Tuscaloosa County High School, flipped from Miami to Alabama. Kenyon Drake 2.0. This dude can fly. Hits the hole fast, gets out of the hole fast, gets to top speed very quickly. This guy has afterburners. He can go. He can flat go. But not only does Riley have the speed, he's got the contact balance to break tackles. So you're not going to arm tackle this kid. He's gonna make you look stupid if you try to arm tackle him. So he's got the speed, he's got the bounce, he's got the wiggle, he's got the burst, and he's got the contact balance. And then he can catch the ball at the backfield, much like Kenyon Drake can. And if you put him on special teams, that could be fun to watch too. And not a lot of people are talking about him. But then leading up to signing day, what was the question? Could Bama flip him? Will he flip from Miami to Alabama? And Alabama gets a homegrown kid, Tuscaloosa guy, to flip. So 2014, if you remember, you got Bo Scarborough from Northridge to come to Tuscaloosa to play for the Crimson Tide. Then 2017, you got Brian Robinson Jr. from Hillcrest in Tuscaloosa to play for the Crimson Tide. So now here is Kevin Riley, T County High School, to play for Alabama. I'm telling you, this kid Kenyon Drake 2.0, dude can fly. Really like this kid. So he's number one. Number two, the three-star linebacker Justin Okonrokwo from Germany. I mean, speed, power, athleticism, lateral quickness, can dissect, can shoot the gap, can accelerate, he can bring havoc in the backfield. He can bring havoc in the backfield. And Saban talked about it. If he played in the States, Okonrokwo would be a 5-star. But because he played overseas in Germany, he's a 3. But we all know you got 3 stars that work harder than 5 stars. We all know this. You got 3 stars that are just as talented as 5 stars. We all know this. We can look at what we saw from a Josh Jacobs, 3-star, but that dude played like a 5, and is now in the NFL. And there's even more. So you look at Justin Okonrokwo, really like him. It'll be interesting to see, how he fits in this linebacker room. He could be an inside guy. He could be an outside guy. It'll be fun to watch his development, getting some strength on him, some muscle on him. He's a good one to watch right there. He's number 2. Number 3, defensive back Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. It's just so cool. We saw Dre Sr. come through this program in 2009, and now his son's here. We all kind of feel old, but at the same time, we all kind of understand it. The legacy's here. And for Dre Jr., going back to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, I think Justin Smith, director of scouting and recruiting, he mentioned Dre Jr. had, 2 interceptions, a blocked punt, a fumble recovery, a forced fumble. The dude was just all around the ball. He's an opportunist, plays a lot like former LSU great Tyrann Mathieu. Probably the one thing that you want to see Dre Jr. get better at is not gamble too much. Sometimes when you're an opportunist and you're all about trying to get to the ball, you take more gambles to what you would like to. And when you take more gambles, sometimes, Eli, you get burned. So that's going to be the big thing for Dre Jr. is keep having that attacking mindset, be that opportunist in terms of wanting to get the football, but don't become overly reliant on taking too many gambles. Because when you do that, that's when the offensive minds, the elite ones, and the elite quarterbacks can take advantage of you. So that's going to be something where Kirkpatrick Jr. is going to have to grow in to improve there. But I love the opportunistic mindset. I love him wanting to attack the ball. Don't lose that, but definitely want to see him grow in not overly taking those gambles, I should say. So I like Kirkpatrick Jr. I think he's an underrated gem there. And then, of course, last but not least, we got Steve M on this defensive line. Young man from Canada, aggressive, intensity, gets explosion, gets after everything moving. Whether it's the running back or the quarterback, he gets after everything moving. And how quickly could he see the field is interesting, because if you watch his tape, my God, this brother's blowing people up. But you're losing, you've already lost Isaiah Hastings to the portal. And Quinn Barnes is already committed to Colorado. You're losing Justin Aboigbe after this year to the draft, the NFL draft. We don't know if there's going to be more defensive linemen for Alabama to possibly hit the portal, but if there comes some to hit the portal, how quickly does Steve M get on this field and make some stuff happen? Because I'm just going to tell you, Freddie Roach has got his hands on a good one. Underrated, coming from Canada, but a good one. You know, the last player to come from Canada for Bama, he turned out well. That was John Mechie. And he turned out very well from an offensive perspective. Now you got Steve M from the defensive perspective, so it's going to be fun to watch this. So last but not least here, you look at Jay Lindsey, the 3-star tight end. And I know, he may not be the route runner he needs to be right now, but this guy is a physical freak blocking. I mean, he dominating physical freak out there blocking as a tight end. Now, I know he came from small school. We have to dominate the small competition he faced, which he did. He has the ability to jump up, high point the football, make those types of plays as a tight end. He'll have to define his route running or redefine it. That's what he's going to have to do. That's an area of improvement for him. But the ability to get up and catch the football, he's got that. The ability to body out guys to make plays, he's got that. The ability to put guys on their butt, blocking, he's got that in spades. He's kind of, he's kind of Robbie Oots with a bit more of a higher ceiling. Robbie Oots, but a slightly higher ceiling than Robbie Oots. Can we say that, Eli? Maybe? You know, Robbie Oots, and Robbie Oots is good. Big time blocker, has gotten better as a receiver. But Jay Lindsey as a diamond in the rough, Robbie Oots with a bit higher ceiling there. Gonna be good to watch him develop as well. But those will be my 5 guys. Jay Lindsey, Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., Kevin Riley, Steve M., and Justin Okunrokwo will be my 5 guys. Underrated gems in this class. I would have thrown in Joseph Ionata as well, a 3-star offensive lineman, but we'll see how he develops here for the Crimson Tide. But take another break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines to grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. I mean, who did you like the most for the Alabama side in this class? We'll get to you after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back locked in to the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets. We're talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Eli, we got some super chats. Here we go. We got Dale Bay dropping in a 10. Dollar donation, putting the love in the bucket right there. Appreciate that from Dale B. Then we got Tolbert, S-T-O-G, with the $5 donation. Appreciate Tolbert right there. And help, man, we got my boy in here. Big pimpin', big real life pimpin', been dropped in here with the $100 in the pot. We got Anthony Lang in here. Let's go. That daily Super Chat goal, $100, has been met by all of you, the Bama family. We did it. Give yourselves a hand. It's all about you. You making this show what it is. Talking Bama football. We go to the phone lines now to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Merry Christmas, Stephen. Bill from New York.
Doing good, Bill. Merry Christmas to you, my man.
Yeah. Listen, I'm excited about this draft class. I like it, but I'm a little bit more excited, to tell you the truth, about the guys we already have. We're going to be losing Dallas Turner and Braswell more than likely. We're losing 16 sacks right there on the outside edge guys. But I want to see this guy Keeley come up, and my man. And you talked about Quindarius Robinson before the season started. And that guy's everything. He can rush the passer. He can
He's
cover.
Grown up.
You see him
He's grown up.
Right? You see him on special teams. Yeah, he might be our best special team player. And as far as Michigan goes, I don't remember where I read this, but like their last 5 or so games, this guy didn't pass for more than 150 yards, something like that, 154 yards. Are you kidding me? Come on. All we got to do is keep this guy on 3rd and long. We could stuff their run, even though the guards and tackles, they're all about 90 years old. They're older than me, for God's sake. Got all these old guys in there, but we got the speed. So all we got to do is hold him in the run, and we're going to crush that quarterback. He's going to wish he was never born. He's going to wish he was never playing Alabama. We're going to step on the guy. We're going to knock him out of the game. Just like I said we would with my man Jaden in LSU, I said we were going to knock him out of the game, and let's face it. We got our defense is the big difference with this team this year. If we want to be honest with ourselves, at least that's what I think. The defense last year, it just was nothing like this, nothing at all like this. I'm so happy, and can I just say one more thing, Stephen?
Go ahead.
I'm really glad that the championship game, which we'll be in, of course, I'm glad the championship game is on New Year's Day instead of New Year's Eve. I got a quick thing about that. You remember the game we played in Michigan State that time on a New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Oh, Stephen, listen. Diana tells me the neighbors are getting married. We got to go to the wedding. All right, I don't know. She told me in like October. Next thing I know, there's an Alabama playoff game. Well, now I'm sitting in this wedding reception. Forget, I had to get a hotel and everything. I'm in the reception, and they're talking about, now we're going to introduce the bride, John, and the groom, John and Michelle. And I can't get I'm looking at the game on my phone, and they're only giving like the verbal, like the written play-by-play, and they're introducing them, touchdown, and she got so mad. Let me tell you something. I heard about that for a couple of years. New Year's Eve, I'll be here, and if we win the title and there's snow outside, I'm going to jump in a snowdrift. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, with all my colors on. But that's enough about me. We're going to win. We're going to knock them silly. And listen, Merry Christmas to everybody. Everybody in the chat. Everybody. God bless and roll Tide.
Appreciate Bill from New York calling in on a Friday. His thoughts on the show. Gotta love Bill calling in. Eli's giving me a thumbs up right there on that one also. We're going to take this call here live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, how you doing this evening? Roll Tide. It's Demetrius from North Carolina.
Demetrius, how are you, man?
Man, just trying to keep my head above water. I was just a little talking about Alabama football, and had to call in. It's late night on a Friday, heading home for the holidays here, getting off the road, and I just want to say, boy, I'm very excited about this about this class, because I gotta keep explaining to these Georgia folks. We got no one recruiting class. Look, y'all fail to realize about our fearless leader, Coach Nick Saban. He doesn't recruit just to have a top recruiting class. He recruits for specific needs that he gonna need for future reference coming up for the next year or two. He thinking 2 years ahead, and y'all still it's chess, not checkers. And that's the beauty of what we have with our coach. Cause I've been watching some of the tape on some of these young men, and I'm like, wow. And Steven, what other coach can go overseas and go to other countries and get these players like none other than Coach Nick Saban? How does he spot these? I mean,
Demetrius, I haven't seen this from Kirby Smart. I haven't seen this from Lane Kiffin. I haven't seen this from Sarkisian. Coach Saban is the only one I know right now that can go to Germany and pull a linebacker, and that can go to Canada and pull a defensive lineman.
Right, correct. And it goes to the testament, and everything is coming full circle again. Now these athletes, these student athletes, they bought into the Jimbo Fishers or these none. You're not gonna get developed at these other schools like you can Alabama. I ain't saying you can't, some, but it's coming full circle where they're gonna make career decisions. Yeah, they might have the NIL, big NIL money, but you're gonna make career decisions on your development, and none other you're gonna have to come to Alabama and play, because that's gonna be best for your career. And I'm gonna land my plane with that.
And these guys, Demetrius, are finding it out fast. Like, you can go to a school and rack up on all the name, image, and likeness funds you want to, and that's cool. But when it's time to look at which school is actually really preparing me for what I want to do, which is go play pro football, a lot of times those kids are going to look at, maybe I should have chose Alabama the first time. Yes, I circled back around on Alabama, but maybe I should have chose the Crimson Tide the first time out the gate. A lot of these young men are starting to figure that out now.
Yeah, correct. Like LT Overton, I believe he kind of wish he would have picked Alabama over Texas A&M. You chasing after I have no problem with a young man chasing, his financial future or NIL deal or whatever. I have no problem with that. But in order for you to make more money, you're gonna have to get developed. And in order for you to progress your career, why not come to I ain't saying that you can't develop on no other program, like I said before, but you want to be up under the best. I mean, you go NFL, they come knocking it, they come calling Coach Saban. Well, what about this player? Well, he got good practice tendencies. He's always gonna be attentive to detail, and he always gonna be where he's supposed to be, doing what he's supposed to do. You might not be the best player, but by Coach Saban giving you that nod, there it is. Your career can prosper. So I'm excited about what I see going on down there in Tuscaloosa.
Absolutely. Appreciate my guy Demetrius calling in out of North Carolina, giving us his thoughts on the show. And we've seen this time and time again with Coach Saban. And like Demetrius mentioned, even though you may not be the best player in the world on Alabama's team, you put forth the effort and the mindset and the focus, and several NFL scouts come down to see. Those NFL scouts are going to ask Coach Saban straight up, like, honestly, what is it about this guy? And if Saban gives you that review that makes you stand out, that NFL team is going to give you a shot. They're going to give you an opportunity. Case in point, I mean, the greatest story, my God, Levi Wallace. Dude was a walk-on. Eli, he was a walk-on. Like, Levi Wallace could have quit at any given time. NFL scouts come down there. What made Levi Wallace so special? That man went from walk-on. Yeah, he went undrafted, but he had some good years with the Buffalo Bills. Then he got a paycheck to go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now he's still in Pittsburgh. So, you may not be the quote-unquote greatest player, but if you show Nick Saban, hey, coach, I'm really about this thing, and Nick Saban sees that, he's going to give you a great review and allow the NFL teams to see who you are. Cool call topic right here, folks. So, Terrion Arnold, Alabama cornerback, was featured on the Next Round show this week. And he talked about Michigan's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Going back to Alabama showing Michigan that respect going into the Rose Bowl, Terrion compared J.J. McCarthy to an SEC legend, compared him to Joe Burrow, former LSU quarterback, 2019 Heisman Trophy winner, 2019 national champion. Would I have gone as far as to compare McCarthy to Burrow? No. But that's what Arnold did, and showing that respect level there. And McCarthy, good quarterback. He's got 22 total touchdowns this year, 19 touchdown passes, 3 rushing scores, only 4 interceptions. He protects the football, puts Michigan in the right play, right call, getting it done. Wouldn't compare him to Joe Burrow, though. Joe Burrow had one of the most incredible seasons by a quarterback recent history in that 2019 campaign. But it'll be a good game between Bama and Michigan from the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, on New Year's Day. We're going to take our final break here on the show. When we get back, we're going to end this with this discussion. You know, should Alabama really go after a former 5-star wide receiver, former or a top SEC target in the transfer portal? We'll wrap things up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube channel.
What's going on? This is Benny Bites. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama, and you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, people, how we feeling? Back into the action here from the break. Number one forum for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate all of you today. Your phone calls, your chats, donations, conversation, energy, bringing all that you bring. Making this your spot here for all things Crimson Tide football. Gotta show some love to Sweet Home Bama 24 with a $5 donation. Putting that in. Appreciate Sweet Home Bama 24 right there. But Eli, final discussion here for conversation. Does Alabama, or should Alabama, pursue 5-star or former 5-star wide receiver Evan Stewart out of the transfer portal from Texas A&M? Stewart is currently in the portal. And I remember when the portal first started, Nick Saban called it NFL free agency. He said, look, y'all, this is not going to benefit everybody. The rich are going to only get richer. And people laughed at Nick Saban. Bama's going to lose players too. Nick Saban's scared. Blah, blah, blah. But what Nick Saban said came to pass because it hasn't been fair for everybody. The transfer portal has not. The rich do get richer. The big-time athletes are going to go to the big-time programs. Just how it is. And so now you have a wide receiver, Evan Stewart, with SEC experience. 2 years of SEC experience, I might add. He came into that top-ranked 2022 recruiting class for Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher. But now he's in the portal. And you look at an Alabama team that does have talent at wide receiver. You do return Kobe Prentice, Isaiah Bond, Kendrick Law, Shaz Preston, Jalen Hale, Jaron Hamilton, Emmanuel Henderson next season. You sign guys like Rico Scott, Amari Jefferson, Aaron Hampton. But you're looking at Ryan Williams signing in February for the Crimson Tide. You do lose Jermaine Burton to the NFL draft after the season. You did lose Ja'Cory Brooks and Thaiu Jones-Bell to the transfer portal, Ja'Cory Brooks committing to Louisville. But even though you got so much talent at that position, and you stockpiled it pretty well at wide receiver, do you still pursue Evan Stewart from the portal? I think you do, because when you got a receiver like that, with prime time experience in the Southeastern Conference, you don't turn away from that, especially if he's somebody that can very much so enhance your roster. You brought over Jermaine Burton to enhance your roster in 2021, coming over from Georgia. And Burton has now fully bought into the culture, fully understands his role, playing complementary, strong football as the number one option for Alabama. If you remember the 2021 season, you brought over Jamison Williams from the portal out of Ohio State, and all that brother did in 1 year was catch 79 passes for 1,572 yards and 15 touchdowns. J-Mo was zoom speed there. So we've seen success. Alabama has seen success getting wide receivers from the portal. Now, I know Malik Benson, from the JUCO perspective, has not quite panned out yet. Still has another year to see if he, pans out the way that he would like to. But you had success with Jamison Williams. You've had success here with Jermaine Burton. I would say definitely look at Evan Stewart. Now, do you end up landing him? Remains to be seen. But I think he should definitely be in consideration. He should definitely be looked at. He should definitely be pursued by the Alabama football program. But you will see if Alabama goes that route, although I think it should go that route, and looking at one Evan Stewart. Now, he's not a Bama lock yet. I know people are asking, is he a Bama lock? Is he for sure coming to Alabama? He's not a Bama lock yet. I just think Nick Saban should consider looking at him in the transfer portal, maybe having him come in for an official visit and see where it could fall to from there. Because if you're all about enhancing your roster, then there should not be an issue with at least considering one Evan Stewart at that wide receiver position. But always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, coverage, material, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Gotta show some love to you, the Bama fans, for all that you do, for all the calls, donating, chatting, energy, conversation. You guys are fantastic. For making this your show, your spot to talk all things Bama football. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio. Once again, Bama Nation, we wish you all a merry, blessed Christmas, holiday season, New Year, whole nine. Enjoy that. Absolutely enjoy that with your family. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.